Good morning. Good morning, you guys. Hi, everyone. Hello, good morning. I'm so excited because today we are talking about something that should be a huge priority for all of you, which is growing your audience, okay? And what I mean by audience is local people. We always need more local people coming in and discovering you on a daily, regular basis in order to make sure that you keep growing. One of the reasons why we stop growing, why we can plateau and all of that is because we've run out of new people, new faces, new dream clients that are like finding what we offer and getting excited about it. So when we are able to grow our audience on a daily basis and do everything like that, then we can actually maintain our growth and even skyrocket it so that we can just keep it steady. So we build our clientele. Like the goal is always to build our clientele, raise our prices, lose some clients, bring in more new clients, get fully booked, raise our prices again, shed some clients, bring in more new clients at that new price point, on and on and on down the line. So in order to do that, the first step is having an engaged local audience. And so, there are many ways to grow an audience, but today I'm sharing one that is kind of like a true hack, which, I'm usually not into hacks. I feel like whenever we want to shortcut something, we should really look internally and ask ourselves why we want to shortcut it. Like, don't we want something that is stable and strong and like actually going to be consistent in our business? But this is a true hack. This is something that you can do on a regular basis that could bring in, 10 times the efforts of if you were just doing this on your own and being consistent in those ways. So now that you guys understand how important it is to have an audience, good morning, Sunny. What I want you to know is that we are going to talk today about local collabs, okay? So I want to share with you guys like how to find people for a local collab, what you can actually do in a local collab, like what are you supposed to do that's going to benefit it, and then I'm going to share a script for you so that when you're reaching out and things like that, you're able to actually see people and get them to say yes to you. So a lot of times the reason why local collabs fall flat or why people might not say yes to you when you have approached them is just because we are framing it in our best interest, which if you've been following me for a while, if you've listened to a bunch of these trainings, you understand that we are always trying to show what is in it for the other person, whether that's our new dream client, whether that is, another business that we want to partner with. We always want to be showing like what is in it for them. Because one of my mentors always talks about how like the number one rule of marketing is that people are selfish, which sounds a little extreme, might hit you in like a weird way, but like truly people are selfish. They have so many things going on and they are just going to be able to tune in and pay attention to the things that are most relevant to them, right? Like in this day and age where our attention has so many like demands on it, our brain gets really good at tuning shit out, right? Like we can tune out ads, we can like not be dazed in a different place while listening to someone. We can be in 1,000 different places at one time. And if you really want to get that attention and secure some of these local collabs, but also make them successful, we really have to get good at showing everybody what is in it for them of working with us. And obviously we're all about like creating a win-win, right? Like they're not stupid. They're going to know that we're getting something out of it too. Like this isn't a secret. But when they we want to make it an easy yes. Okay, so let's talk about local collabs. Okay, so what is a collab? What would I consider a collaboration? So the definition is a cooperative arrangement where two or more parties work jointly towards a common goal. Okay, so in this circumstance, the common goal is for you both to build your audience. So I want you guys to understand that like you're not only going to be able to build your audience, but the other member is going to be able to build theirs. You have spent all of this effort, energy, time, creating content, getting in front of the right people. You have put all of this effort into having the people in your world that are there, and now this other person is going to have the benefit of that and vice versa. So the true benefit of a collab is that everybody wins, and you are now getting access to 300, 1,000, 2,000 people that you haven't been in front of before, that you aren't having to one by one go out and find and get in front of, whether that's through organic marketing, which is what I teach in Luxury Client Method, or whether that's through running ads and stuff like that. Okay, so this is awesome because immediately, instead of getting in front of 1 or 2 people, you're getting in front of 1,000 people. And with the word of mouth that we talked about last week, it kind of works as well because this other like collaborator, they are going to have your back, right? They wouldn't talk about you if they didn't have some sort of trust in your ability and what you're doing. And so their people are going to be even more likely to trust you and follow you because this person that they already trust is vouching for you. Okay, so it works super well. All right, so instead of getting 1 or 2 followers, you have the potential to get hundreds of followers, thousands of followers from these collaborations. So how can you know who to work with? Like, who should you even be looking at as a potential collaborator? So the most important thing number 1 is we want them to be other local businesses, okay? So you might get all excited thinking about collaborating with some, national brand or something like that, but we really want to keep it local because remember, the purpose of what we're doing is we're building our audience so that we can get more clients, so that we can make more money, so that we can make more sales, okay? So we want to pick other local businesses. And you can get creative here. If you are somebody who has a big vivid clientele and you love like bold women and all of that, you could look for tattoo artists, okay? So really think about like your own brand, but tattoo artists could be something. I really like to think about other people in the beauty image space. So just a couple of examples are going to be boutiques, estheticians, and if you are an esthetician, you could look for hairstylists, right? Jewelers or local crafters, lash artists, massage therapists, okay? So really just start thinking how I like to explain it is like a hairstylist is one part of your dream client's entourage, right? Of their like beauty squad, of their, styling of their life. So in the rest of their squad that you're a part of, they probably have, a personal stylist, let's say a boutique they go to that is styling them with their clothes. Maybe they have an interior designer, okay? Maybe they have restaurants that they go to on a regular basis. Maybe they have a spray tan, a nail tech, like I said, an esthetician for their skincare needs, right? Maybe they have a local jeweler who makes like really cool custom jewelry for them. So I want you to really get creative in this aspect and really think about who else is your dream client spending their money with, and then that is where local brands you would want to go and approach, okay? And you would want to consider doing some kind of collaboration with. If you're feeling kind of stumped on this, I would literally think of like 3 of your top clients that you have. And by top clients, I always like to clarify this. It's kind of like they're high paying, they're loyal, they you know, buy retail, they really trust you, and maybe they've even sent you referrals, right? Like if you have a couple clients like that in mind, I would literally think about where are they shopping, where are they getting their skincare and all of that, so that you can start building out this list, because chances are if they like those brands and they're using them, then so are other people like them who would be a great fit for you, right? When you're doing this, you also want to try to think personality wise or style wise that it's going to be like a good fit, and go there. So the reason why we're picking businesses like that aren't other hairstylists is because we want to be able to build our network and collaborate with other people who are going to mutually benefit. So doing collabs with other hairstylists, totally fine. I'm all about collaboration over competition. But remember, our point here is to build a potential clientele. So I would really focus on those other relationships that you can build. Now, that might feel intimidating because you're like, Ren, I don't have any esthetician people in my network. I don't have any massage therapists or lash artists in my network. How am I supposed to make this happen? So I'm going to show you how you can make this happen in like an authentic, cool way that's going to feel really natural and organic, okay? Because as you guys know, I'm all about doing things in like an authentic way, and we're never going to be doing things that are like strange or feel bad. The number one rule here is that if it feels bad, the other person probably notices and feels bad too, okay? So we don't want to make it awkward. We don't want to make it weird. So when you do find the person, and like I said, I'm going to give you guys the method to make this happen, but when you do find the person, a couple things that you can do together as a collab is going to depend on what exactly you're trying to build, okay? So one of the things, like the main thing that comes to mind for me is if you're getting your clients through Instagram, then we really want to focus on Instagram, right? So you can continue to build your following of local followers on Instagram. So if you're both in the same place, that's both of your common goals, then you could do something like a joint live stream. Okay, if you're too nervous about going live, which you both might be nervous about going live, then you could do some kind of like pre-recorded interview style thing. You could also do joint content or kind of collab content. So let's say, for example, you are going to partner with an esthetician. Okay, that's going to be your collab, a local esthetician. You could put together a video like how to feel your best over 40, okay? And then in the video, you come on and you can share like 3 hair tips to feel your best over 40. And then in the same exact video, it can cut to the esthetician sharing 3 tips for how to have your best skin over 40. So these are fun ways that you guys can collab. You can share your videos to where they literally show on both of your profiles. And then this is how you can start to get access to their audience. They can get access to your audience. And then that's how you really start to double, triple, 10x your visibility locally, okay? So you can do joint content, collab content. You could also swap content. So let's say they have some really great posts that are, that your clients would really love to see and vice versa. You could have them send you the video of their best reels or their carousels, and you could literally do the same thing where you're posting it on your grid, they're posting yours on their grid, etc. Okay? Another thing that you guys can do that's a little bit off social media is you could also put your offers in their welcome packs to their new clients, okay? So let's say, I know many of you, when a new guest comes in, you have like a little kit that you give them. It has some information about you. Maybe it has a menu, some referral cards. Maybe you put little samples in there. And then you could also include this esthetician's information, right? So then at the esthetician, when she hands hers out, it's including your information, okay? And then you can give a discount if you want to. You totally don't have to. But I think that that's also a really good idea. And then the other thing that you can do is if you have, I know quite a few stylists and estheticians right now have private Facebook groups for their clients. So you could also do live streams in those specific groups so that it isn't like a public live stream if you're a little bit nervous. That way, it can feel a little bit more, easy for you. Because I know going live can be nerve-wracking. It still is for me, and I've gone live probably 500 times at this point, and I still stumble over my words. I still, get lost in a train of thought and forget what I'm gonna say, or feel like I'm not making sense. So all of that is very normal, but if we want to be able to have these opportunities to really grow our businesses, we need to be open to some different ways that our dream clients consume media, right? I feel like so many people now sit and they watch lives. They sit and they listen to lives even if they're not watching them. It's on in the background, like a podcast. And it's really how people can get to know you in a more authentic way, because they actually get to know your energy, your cadence, how it feels to interact with you, your teaching style, everything like that. So I would say just be as open to it as possible with all of the opportunities, okay? So those are some of the things you can do in your collaboration that are going to help. So now let's think about how you can actually secure some of these collabs, right? So we talked about how to know who to work with, okay? How to make your list of potential local collabs that you want to do. Then we talked about figuring out what you want to do together. As far as contracts and things goes, I have always done these super casually. So you could do a contract if you want, but I feel like it's more just let's do a live stream, let's jump on a live together. Let's swap posts and that kind of thing. So I think casual is totally fine. So we know who we want to work with. We know what we want to do with them for our collab. So now how do we actually get started? How do we go from knowing that amazing esthetician in your area to actually proposing this idea and getting the ball rolling? So what we want to do is there's a couple of different ways. So the first way is kind of more of the traditional method, which is joining local networking groups, okay? So in my area, we have some really cool female entrepreneur groups that includes a lot of people in, I would say, the first 3 to 10 years of business, okay? Because a lot of times when you're looking at these collabs, you can look at bigger people than you, let's say Instagram numbers. I would say you can look at people double or triple your current Instagram following to set up these collabs with. But anything more than that, and you're kind of shooting in the dark, you don't really know if they're going to say yes or not. But these local female entrepreneur groups are typically really cool. It's nice events anyway to go out and meet some new people. And that can be a great way to kind of break the ice and meet people to do these local collabs with, okay? So networking events is one of the, one of the main ways that people do this. How I've always done this is just using Instagram. Okay, so finding people through Instagram that are local, that I like their vibe. I feel like the people who follow them are people who I would want to work with, right? And so then what I do is I just follow them and I start engaging with their content, right? And this is all just very authentic. So yes, I want to work with them long term, but I also just enjoy what they're doing. So I'm going to leave thoughtful comments. I'm going to engage with their content and their stories. I'm going to just start building this relationship with them. So once you feel like that is established, then you can go in with a message like this, okay? And what you guys are going to notice is that, again, we are really focusing on what is in it for them, right? What they are getting by working with us. They're already going to know it benefits both of us, but we want them to see why it's special for them, why they should say yes. So Hi, I love what you're doing to support women in aging beautifully and confidently. Okay, so this could be to a local esthetician. I have an audience of 300, 1,000 local women, right? Who follow me, and I would love to collab with you and feature you and your tips. What do you think? Okay, so again, very simple, very casual. This isn't like a big block of text, just like we wouldn't do that if we were trying to DM a potential client. We're not sending a big block of text. We're not being overly formal and professional. That's another thing that happens, that when we kind of like want something or we're proposing something, we go overly professional and it comes off cold. We're just going to keep this very light. So one more time. Hi, I love what you're doing to support women in aging beautifully and confidently. I have an audience of 400 local women and I'd love to collab and feature you and your tips. What do you think? Okay, and then they're just going to either ignore the message. They might reply and say, ooh, what are your, what did you have in mind? And then you can give them a couple ideas like we talked about before. They might say, not right now, whatever. But the point is, we're shooting our shot. We're getting out there and we're making these connections, because I'll tell you, every esthetician has their people that they refer people to, right? If someone needs a hairstylist, they know who they're going to refer them to, and vice versa. So getting into that ring with your fellow beauty brands is really going to be cool. And then, like I said in the beginning, don't count out tattoo artists. You can even think about local restaurants and hotspots. How fun would it be to just have this network of the local business owners really promoting each other and helping each other build their businesses. I think that too, this might sound a little intimidating to reach out to people, ask if they'll feature you, you can feature them. But you guys, a lot of people, when they get messages like this, they light up and they feel really honored and really special. They are other business owners in other industries or other categories. They're just like you, where they're wondering what they're going to post next. They're trying to think of new ideas to get more clients. They're in the same spot of brainstorming and trying to come up with fresh ways to market themselves. So when you come in with an idea and you have this fresh perspective and this opportunity, it is really easy for them to say yes, because they want the same thing as you. They're looking for the same opportunity. And honestly, like I said, this whole time, it's a win-win for everybody. Not only do you get access to their audience that they've worked hard to build of local people, but they're going to get access to yours. And that is going to be really exciting. I also think that too, in terms of loyalty of your best clients, when they see you doing these collabs, they perceive you as someone who is supportive, someone who is open, someone who is really enriching the community and a team player. And I think that it just makes it even more attractive to continue coming to you and supporting your business, because they know you have this whole community mindset. So I hope that this has been helpful with better understanding how to quickly grow your audience. I personally know many people who this has been their primary way of growing their audience, and it has been super, super successful at putting them light years ahead of their peers who were just trying to grow their audience on their own. So definitely consider this. Go ahead and jump in my inbox and let me know what questions you have. If you want to even send me some ideas of people you might want to collab with and have me tell you my thoughts, I'm happy to do that. Be on the lookout on my Instagram profile at Ren Lopa Official, because I'm going to be sharing that script that we went over along with some of these tips in a carousel, so that you guys are going to be able to save that for later and really have that content to refer back to it whenever you need it. As far as how often to do collabs, I think that starting with once a quarter, so that would be 4 a year, is a really great way to get into it and to not feel so overwhelmed by them, but also know, okay, these are coming up for me. Maybe next year you'll do the same exact ones, maybe you'll do different ones, but planning them out like every 3 months, I think is going to be a really helpful thing. So I hope that you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. Again, if you are building your clientele and you have room for 4+ new clients a week, please DM me the word client so that I can show you how I can help you. All right? Bye, guys.